Completely up to the board, how you would like to continue. We do need a vote and a second, right?
I'm good with you taking it.
Okay, another year, yeah.
That's good. That works.
Everybody in agreement? Okay.
So we'll just need a motion.
I make a motion that Pam remains chair.
Second,
Second.
okay,
Okay,
and then everyone can vote.
Oh.
All
In favor?
all in favor?
You can just say all in favor.
All in favor.
All in favor? Okay.
Aye.
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 Okay.
All right, that's
And
good.
then we'll need VP.
Okay, I now call the meeting to
Well,
order.
we still need to vote on a vice president.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, I thought,
Yeah.
my job was done. Okay, a motion for vice president,
Anybody? Okay, all right.
Someone needs to make the motion.
I'll make a motion.
To make Sharon vice president.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
Vice chair,
Vice
vice
chair.
president.
Vice chair, sorry.
chair.
Okay.
Yeah, second,
Second.
and then,
All in agreement?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Do I have to agree to that? Oh, okay, all right.
Okay,
All right.
so now you can call to order.
okay, sorry about that. Call the meeting to order. And we're going to review the minutes of the previous meetings, several of them.
Pam, would you mind, is it okay if we skip to E first?
Oh, right
we
now?
have
Sure.
Dan Pellets here from Water and Wastewater
Yep,
here.
I'm sorry, yep.
To go over the consideration to allow sewer waiver requests. The board did look at this previously. You wanted to see every single waiver request. What we're finding now is that we're in this weird limbo period where the sewer isn't available to be connected, so people aren't asking for extensions, but we're finding that properties are transferring and they're kind of stuck without anything. So we've talked to Dan. If you want to come up, you just have to go in front of the microphone. That we'd like to be able, in this meantime, at the staff level, be able to approve a waiver just so people can transfer their properties.
And I guess if I can just add to that, on my end, what I've been experiencing, most as recently as this past week, we have 440 houses out in East Harwich that are going to be connecting to the sewer in the next 2 years, and there's a number of them that are trying to transfer or sell their houses right now. And from what I understand the process to be, in order to get a waiver, they have to come before the board, and where you guys meet monthly. It's difficult for some people to either get that or have the foresight to know that they're going to need a waiver to get their failed system to pass or failed system to transfer so that the new owners can connect to the sewer system. And where we are in the process of putting together the order to complete packages, I think those are going to be going out. We were talking likely next month, that this would be an opportunity to help the residents out a little and make it easier for them, at least for those 440 parcels in East Harwich.
Okay,
So it would be the same form that we have for the Title V waivers that we do at the staff level. You would still see any of the extension requests later when those come up, but we're not at that point yet. So anyone who's put in a septic system recently would have to still come before the board for an extension. But it would just be at the staff level for the time being where they're not connected and they have to prove some kind of documentation where they're really stuck in limbo. So it's completely up to the board, but it would be.
To add, I guess, part of the problem with, that I'm getting from the residents is that a prospective buyer's bank will not fund a mortgage with a failed Title V system or a system that doesn't have a waiver to allow the new resident to hook up to the septic system. So that's really what we're trying to help
Okay.
get through.
makes sense.
And we have that form for septic systems, so there is a waiver form that we work with residents when a septic system fails, that we can approve a waiver that they can use for their mortgage. So it would be the same, it's just for the sewer instead of a Title V system.
Do we need a motion?
We would.
Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the, wow, what are we accepting here?
Waiver request at the staff level.
Waiver request at the staff level.
Seconded.
All right.
Okay, Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Pass unanimously?
A question?
Oh, yeah.
No. What is the difficulty hooking up into the sewer system right now?
So we're not actually ready to have anyone connect just yet.
In
So,
the Harwich area?
what's that?
In Harwich?
In the East Harwich area, yes.
Yeah.
So we're going through the final checkouts with the sewer collection system. DEP was down last week. We're anticipating we'll be mailing out those orders, I think, next month, middle of August. So this is really to bridge the gap between, now and when we're able to mail out the letters. So this is for really the first construction contract, which is the Robert Auer one, which 137, 39. Those letters will be going out next month. RJV, the second construction contract, I'm still waiting for an update as to what their substantial completion date will be, but this would likely, if the board grants, would carry for the second contract as well.
Okay.
Everybody's,
So was that all, sorry, did Ron, just for the motion, was that an aye from Ron too? Just
Oh,
for-
yes, it was. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I just wanted to kind of update myself on hookups, things like that.
Okay,
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you for taking that out of order.
Oh, no
I'll let
problem.
Dan get going. Hopefully there's no traffic now.
All right, minutes from previous meetings, we'll do one at a time. Any changes on minutes from May 18th, 2021?
I was absent for that one.
Okay, do I hear a motion to pass those minutes?
I'll make a motion to pass the minutes.
Okay, second,
Seconded.
all in agreement?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Abstain, or?
Yep.
Yep.
Sharon is not voting because she was not there. Okay, then we'll do May 21st, 2021. Any proposed changes?
None.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second,
Second.
everyone in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. And June 15th, 2021. Any changes? Proposed changes? No? Do I hear a motion to accept?
Motion to accept.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So noted. So all the meetings have been passed, meeting minutes. Okay.
You know what, just to clarify on that one, I was absent, I didn't think I was here on that one, I was absent for that one also, so I shouldn't have okayed it. The June 15th.
I'll put you down as abstain.
Okay.
Okay, so our COVID-19 update, few changes from what is in the packet. We have seen a total of 766 cases over the course of the past year and a half or so. We still remain at 57 deaths, and we are currently following 7 active cases at the moment. We have about 9,000, just under 9,000 fully vaccinated residents, which is really fantastic news. That's about 78% of our eligible population and about 71% of our total population. So 0 to 11-year-olds are still not eligible for vaccination, but anyone 12 and older. They're hoping to get approval sometime in the fall for 5 to 11. They keep changing the date a little bit. They were originally anticipating September, October, and I believe they pushed that back to November. So we'll see what happens with the fall, but currently it's still 12 and over for vaccination. The Vax Millions has opened up, so if everyone is fully vaccinated, then register online for a chance to win $1 million. It's a good push to try to get anyone who isn't vaccinated yet vaccinated, and you still have time to get vaccinated in order to register. Johnson & Johnson has had a few updates recently, adding some precautions to it. They've had reports of some Guillain-Barré syndrome happening, which can happen with any vaccine, but they have added that to the J&J warnings. In terms of a booster update, the CDC and the FDA have both put out a press release that at this point they don't believe a booster is needed, even though Pfizer has put one forward. So that is something that they're still looking at, and at this point the CDC and the FDA don't recommend it. We do have 5 total cases of COVID-19 within the Cape Cod healthcare system. One is at Falmouth Hospital, 4 are at Cape Cod Hospital, and 1 is in the ICU. Most of the patients that we're seeing right now are unvaccinated. There has been some breakthrough that we're seeing, but that is anticipated with any vaccine. Typically, there's the 5% breakthrough, and that's what we're seeing. Fortunately, most of the breakthrough cases that we're seeing are very mild symptoms, typically more like a cold. We will still keep following it. There was basically a super spreader event that occurred in Provincetown over the 4th of July weekend. So we're very aware of that situation and tracking everything that's going around with that. And that is the COVID-19 update. If anyone has any questions before we move on.
The only thing I would suggest is, since I asked you about those numbers, that if people are listening and they take a look at the numbers that don't add up, do you want to explain what they are?
Sure. So the state reports it kind of an odd way. They report individuals with at least 1 dose. And in that number is the fully vaccinated individuals, as well as the individuals who have received the J&J vaccine. So it does get a little confusing. I wish they had broken up the J&J recipients from that number. Makes it a little difficult to parse out the exact number of individuals with 1 dose if you're looking at Moderna and Pfizer.
Specifically, people looking for the second dose still.
Right. So it's kind of, it is confusing. But we don't really have a way to portion it out that way. But that's why we show the fully vaccinated individuals. So almost 9,000 for fully vaccinated is really impressive. We have,
But J&J would show up on the list as fully vaccinated, right?
correct. So we don't
So
really.
as long as we just do a simple subtraction, we know that there's still, 839 people who are waiting for their second dose of Moderna or Pfizer, whatever it is that they're looking for.
Yep. Okay. So that's,
Do you know if when the pediatric population, the young population get their turn to get the shot, do you know if it's gonna be the same administration techniques, or are they gonna have to go to a PCP or a doctor for that?
for in terms of like if they'll have a clinic available. I would assume that there'd be clinics, but I can follow up on that once we get a little bit closer.
Yeah, I mean, from a nursing standpoint, I know we'll be running clinics. As soon as availability opened up for 12 to 17-year-olds, we offered clinics to other agencies around. I did clinics at Lighthouse Charter School. So we did clinics at schools, and we, as a PCP office, I can specifically speak for Outer Cape Health Services, that we are doing vaccinations for anybody who qualifies, even if they are not patients of ours. So even though it's in our setting, as long as all the paperwork is signed up, we'll vaccinate anyone.
That's good.
Okay. And you want me to, so C,
Oh, I think we skipped B.
B,
So B is
Sorry.
if the board wanted to discuss the times of the meeting. So technically, right now, we do 6:30 work session and 7 o'clock meeting. So if the board wanted to look at moving everything to 6:30, you have the option of voting to just start a meeting at 6:30 instead of having to wait exactly until 7 if we don't have any work session materials.
oh, that's fine with me.
6:30 sounds good to me.
Yeah, I agree. And then if we do have a work session, then that's just part of it.
Yep.
Yep, that makes sense. I make a motion, we move the meeting to
Second.
6:30, starting at
Second.
6:30.
All in agreement?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Agreed.
Good.
C, the chair reviewed and gave permission to the health director to review and on the VNA contract for 2022. And so that is that has been accepted by the, do we have to actually vote on this?
No, so it
because-
was on our last meeting.
Yeah.
The fiscal year starts on July 1st. It's the same contract the board has approved for years now. It's for the medical services to have, for the VNA, for their assistance. So Pam, as the chair, reviewed it and referred it to the Board of Selectmen. The Board of Selectmen approved it, and then it's been enacted.
Okay.
Would you like me to move on to
Yes.
the voluntary upgrade? So this one is similar of an ask to the sewer connection. A few of the other towns in the area do in-house local upgrades for variances. I don't know if it's something the board would like to look into. Basically, it's anything that is a failed system, is a voluntary upgrade, something a cesspool. We would have the option of doing it in-house at the staff level. It would cut back on the timing. Right now, everyone has to file, a month and a half before the board meeting.
Oh, yeah.
This would allow the process to be sped up a little bit. Anything that was an increase in square footage or habitable space would still come before the Board of Health. Any new construction, and it's just an option. If the board wants to move that to a staff level, it would be completely up to the board. We did provide what Brewster does, what their application is, their process, as well as, is it Dennis? Is Dennis. So they have similar forms for in-house variance approval for the septic systems.
Any comments?
I mean, I feel like that would certainly be reasonable, we're looking at people who need to replace these systems regardless of the case when, if they're just hung up in paperwork, I kind of feel bad for them, so I would approve it, certainly.
Yeah, I would agree.
Then do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in agreement?
Aye.
Okay, unanimous?
Perfect. Great, thank you.
Unanimous?
I think people will be very happy to speed up that process. And you'll still see a lot of them before you. So we can't do old business, my director update. So we have a staffing update. I'm very happy to announce that we've hired a senior health agent. Carrie will be starting August 2nd. Can't come soon enough. We're very excited. She's very qualified. She's been in public health for a long time, and she'll be able to hit the ground running right away, and we really look forward for her joining the team. We have Mark Baselli as a temporary contractor helping out with witnessing test holes right now, much like John Chatham used to do. Jerry Leonard, our part-time inspector, has actually put in her resignation. She was 19 hours a week. It's a tough position, part-time, to have ownership of the position. So it's had a high turnover the past few years. We have a wonderful intern from the Barnstable County Health Department, Fiona Edwards. She's been with us on Mondays. She's done a great job helping out, catch up on inspections as well as some clerical stuff. She's very organized and has been a big help. Casey has been our remote intern from UMass Lowell. If you look under the correspondences, he has been designing educational pamphlets, and he is doing just an amazing job. If you didn't get a chance to look at him, he's really doing wonderful work. And if anyone has any topics that they'd like him to do pamphlets on, we have him until the end of August, and we've been very impressed with the work that he's doing. And of course, we still have our amazing Jen, the rock star.
Yes,
who's really been-
thank you,
keeps
Jen.
the health department in line. We couldn't stay organized without her. She's definitely our rock star. Town buildings, as you know, officially reopened, and people have been very happy and to be able to come in and actually pull a file, see what's going on. We've had a lot of positive feedback on the reopening. It's been very busy at the counter. Kind of feels like it did 2 years ago. Administration is starting financial discussions for fiscal years of 24 to 27. They want to start looking forward now. So if board members have any suggestions for large purchases, capital items, staffing changes, anything like that, please reach out to me with ideas as soon as possible. We have meetings coming up soon. Something I would love to propose to them for the future would be a public health nurse at some point. I don't know if that would be feasible for the health department, but we can always ask.
Wait a minute, I thought we had a public,
So we have a council on aging public health nurse, and she's amazing.
Yeah.
So I would love to have something like that in the health department.
oh, okay.
To help out with health education, blood pressure screenings, whole lot of items that could be done. COVID, we'll see. I definitely want to start revising some of our Board of Health regulations. We're finding right now that our stable regulations are completely out of date. So if the board, the consensus of the board is to start working on that, I'm happy to start revising some items. If we want to get that on a meeting, I'm happy to have something before you. I know our animal control officer would appreciate having some revisions done. They're just pretty antiquated. It's time for an update. I don't know if you got the emails that I sent out, but a rabid raccoon was found in Hyannis. Rabies baiting has been occurring, both via the ground and helicopters. So if you saw very low-flying helicopters, they were releasing oral vaccines. They worked very quickly to get that done in a timely manner. Summer definitely is not the ideal time frame for that, but they saw an issue and they acted quickly. Tripoli and West Nile are also something that we're looking at right now. It's been really rainy. Cape Cod mosquito control has been testing. We haven't had any cases on Cape yet, but we're definitely monitoring the numbers. Mass Department of Public Health still has their weekly COVID updates that I attend on Tuesdays, and the Barnstable County Health Coalition has every other Tuesdays. And this is a time to go over COVID updates, regulations, as well as other summer issues like Tripoli, West Nile, all of the summer issues that we see. Our fertilizer regulations went out in the water bills last month. If anyone gets a paper copy, you'll see a little tear off that references the regulation, where to find all the information. And we're still in the educational phase for all of that. And that is my update. Does the board have a consensus? We can't vote on it, but would the board like me to start working on some revisions in the regulations? Or
Yes.
are there any other suggestions of regulations that we might want to start looking
sense.
at this point?
No, but if you need
Start
any
with-
help, I see you're looking for if somebody's interested, so whatever you need, let me know.
Perfect, thank you. Appreciate it. Great.
I know what it's like to update stuff like that.
Okay, so we have to wait till 7 for those. We can move on to the permits. The only thing of note is Summer House Cafe has not had its pre-opening inspection yet, so we would just ask that that one have the condition pending pre-opening inspection.
I'm sorry,
Which one was that?
The Summer House Cafe is under food.
Oh, I see it.
Where is that?
Yeah, where is?
It's the old Irish pub on
Oh,
Route
okay.
28.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh.
They have all their application in, they just haven't scheduled their pre-opening inspection yet.
Am I allowed to ask out of sheer curiosity what they're doing with that? I used to work at the old Irish pub, so I've seen all the people there and sales and everything going on, and that's the first I've heard of what's going in there. Reading this, I'm just curious.
Yeah, so they do have building permits right now, they're fixing up the inside. It'll only be limited food service until they install a new septic system, so all paper plates, no food preparation on site. They'll get in food that's basically ready to go, and they'll be serving that. I think they're long-term plan is to really update it, is what they told us.
I mean, that place is, the location is beautiful. If anybody who hasn't been in, like, with a few touch-ups, I mean, the back bar in there that has the full, like, oak slab, it's a tree, it's beautiful, and it's just needed a little love for many years. I haven't worked there since about 2005, but it's,
Yeah, so that's their plan. So right now, just limited food
Interesting.
service,
Thank you.
no food prepared on site for the time
Is
being.
that seasonal?
I don't-
believe so, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
We'd have to check on that for you. I can't remember off the top of my head either. We can get back to you on that one. I don't believe it was. We'll research and get back to you.
Thank you.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to accept the permits except for the Summer House Cafe,
So it would still include that, just pending their inspection.
pending their inspection? Okay.
I make a motion that we accept this?
Second.
Second? Well, this is so different.
I know, no roll call.
Aye.
I can't say the wrong name anymore.
It seems strange.
It has passed
You
unanimously.
just need, all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
I,
Perfect. And then, so the last thing was the correspondences. We had just included a little item in there that we received from the USDA. They'll be having a summer food service program in Orleans. The contact information is on that, and there's more information in the packet, as well as the flyers that were made. So if anyone has suggestions, I can have Casey create some flyers to any other topics that we might want to touch upon.
Okay.
you know, I was looking at these and nutrition for the kids and help, you know, food services, trying to get people in touch with, you know, places. Is there anything to try and really link people with the food pantry right here on Queen Anne?
Sure, yeah, we can include something like that.
I know for a fact they have a program that if anybody is given a script for a food pantry referral, I mean, I can speak for Outer Cape, we have them, offer them out to people who are having difficulty all the time. I'm sure we're not the only, you know, primary care that has those available, and I'm sure if we spoke to the food pantry, they would make them more available. But if anybody has a script for that signed by a provider, they are guaranteed the opportunity to walk in there, have a consult with somebody, and regardless whether they are approved for that service or not, walk out with a full bag of groceries. And anybody that even says they slightly struggle, I encourage them to take up on that offer. And we've been doing it for years at Outer Cape. And, you know, I just don't know how much, I know we have our hands on it, but we don't serve everybody here on Cape Cod. And I would love to, you know, if there's a way that we can make that service more widely available to those that need it, it would be a really wonderful, they have a fantastic program over there.
That's a great idea. We can definitely work on getting the word out about that.
So is anything currently being, I won't say advertised, but do we have anything out now that people that are in need would be able to, would be at a place where they would be able to see something?
So we've put out a few things from the state, but I appreciate Kevin's perspective and make it more local. I think that's a really great idea.
Yeah, I mean,
It's definitely
I've had a
something.
chance to tour over there and really see what they're doing over there. I mean, it's not just the food pantry. I mean, they got pallets of clothes that they sort out daily, and they really have a fantastic program, and they've never been at a total loss for, you know, the food to supply people with. And if, like I said, if somebody even on that borderline area who's maybe struggling temporarily can get in there and have an appointment to review with somebody, you know, they walk out with a full bag of groceries, they walk out with help.
So you're talking about the family pantry there on?
Right on Queen Anne.
On Queen, oh, all
Yeah.
right. All right.
Yeah, we can definitely have something that includes other options as well, certainly. And
So do you think the other doctors know about that?
I know that our facility
Yeah.
knows about it. I have scripts for that sitting in my desk, and you know, I will say that I'm not even sure there's some new providers at my facility that I'm sure aren't even totally aware of it, that they just got hired. But there is a script for it. It's put out by the family pantry. If they walk in with that script signed with any doctors, they will be guaranteed a chance to sit down and have a consult there and
Is there
figure
a
it out.
chance we could have some sort of a pamphlet that's put in doctors' offices?
we could,
They have them, and because
Okay.
we have them at our house, so they, if we speak to the family pantry, I mean, that is, I'm sure, a service that they would be more than willing to expand.
yeah, so what we would do would have multiple options, and certainly they're within Harwich, so that would be, you know, very helpful, but we can put together options for all of Cape Cod,
Yeah.
which would, yeah.
That would be good.
I'll talk to Casey about that, and hopefully he can get that in the next few weeks.
Okay.
I mean, they're great about specifying people like diabetics. They'll give you a food bag that is specifically geared, that's not so high in carbs, sugar. They're excellent. They really do a fantastic job over there.
All right. That does bring us to 7:00, so it worked out tonight.
Did.
Okay.
You wanna,
So, for new business on 37 Old County Road, this was done at the staff level to agree with the conditions and go forward.
so A and B were both on
And B too, yeah.
last June's meeting, where we had that unfortunate issue with the remote. Those are both failed systems that needed upgrades. Pam sat down with me and at the chair level made the decision that we could review it at the staff level to get that upgrade going instead of making it wait. So those both systems are both in right now already, which is great.
Yeah, I think that'll save a lot of time, more work for you guys, but.
That's okay. All right. You want me to read Rocky Way into the record? Continued from
Open the hearing.
Continued from June 15th, 2021, Harwich Associates, 17 Rocky Way, to consider a variance to install a new Title V septic system on a vacant lot. Plan prepared by J.C. Ellis Design Company. Variances from Harwich Board of Health Regulation 4.20, distance to impervious layer, to Harwich Board of Health Regulation 4.20, to allow the proposed soil absorption system to be installed in an impervious layer. Variance from Harwich Board of Health Regulation 4.3, thickness of permeable layer, per Harwich Board of Health Regulation 4.3, to allow the proposed soil absorption system to be installed in an impervious layer.
Hi.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Jason Ellis, and representing the owners of 17 Rocky Way. So this property has given us kind of an unusual situation in this part of the Cape. Typically, we deal with a lot of sandy sites on the property, or on the properties in Harwich. This site actually has very tight soils, which is pretty rare in this town. I had done some test holes back in 2005 on the site for the owner, and they're currently trying to sell the lot now. And we came up with a septic design for a proposed 4-bedroom house on the lot. The perk rates, we did 2 deep hole tests and we did 2 perk tests on the lot. The 2 perk rates that they were able to obtain was a perk rate of 25 minutes an inch and another one for 42 minutes per inch. At some point in the last 15, 16 years, the Board of Health actually, your Board of Health put in a regulation that restricts the installation of a septic system in any impervious, what you deem as impervious soil, which is anything with a perk rate that's slower than 20 minutes an inch. Title V allows you to install for new construction and anything under 60 minutes per inch. So as far as Title V goes, this is a completely compliant septic system. It just doesn't comply with your supplemental regulation with the perk rate. What we provided is one of the things you might not have seen a scenario like this where the soil is is very restrictive. So what ends up happening with the calculations of the size of the leach area is as the perk rate gets lower, the leach area gets much bigger. It spreads it out over the whole area. So a 4-bedroom system would, in normal sand that we have here, would probably be about a quarter or a third of the size of the leach field that we're proposing on this plan. And all those numbers are coefficients that are calculated out in Title V for certain perk rates. So with the two perk rates that we had the 25-minute an inch perk rate, we had a 42-minute per inch perk rate. So I designed the leach field based on a less than 50-minute per inch perk rate, which is kind of a little bit of overkill, but you have to kind of go to the next number up in the design criteria to design for that. So what we're also doing is we're pressure dosing the leach trenches, and you might be familiar with that process, but a lot of the systems that go in are gravity fed. You go into a D-box and this goes gravity out into the leach area, whether it be chambers or trenches or leach field. It just has gravity distribution throughout the leach field. This is pressurized, so it has a pump that's much like an irrigation system in a lawn. When it goes on, all the pipes fill up and it sprays out. And so what that does is it provides equal distribution of the effluent throughout the entire area of the leach trenches, so all at once, rather than kind of point loading into the front where a typical gravity-fed system would be. That's pretty much it. And you probably have questions. I'd be happy to try to answer anything that might come up, or any concerns that you might have.
Do I ask about the public at this point, or do I close the hearing? It's been a while.
You can ask for, yeah, don't close it, but you can ask for public
Okay.
comment.
Any comments from the public?
So we just ask that you sign in and make sure that you speak at the microphone, please.
Yes, I'm Foster Banford. I live at 15 Rocky Way and am in a butter to this property. I'm concerned about a non-compliant septic going in next door, and I'm here to try to understand what the impact might be on my family and the environment in general. I don't have any engineering information for you like we just heard, but I'm concerned about precedent being set for non-compliance, and expect as lots become less available as we approach building out the town, that there might be more like this in the future. So there's a concern there, I think, about setting a precedence of not making people comply with the regulations we have. So I'm also concerned about the environmental impact, just given that regulations are not going to be followed. So in conclusion, I guess I'd say that the rules, I would believe, would be there for a reason, and lacking a compelling reason to do otherwise, feels like they should be enforced. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mark Bornas. This is my wife Jennifer Bornas. We live at 21 Rocky Way in Harwich. We're abutters on the other side of the property of 17 Rocky Way, opposite side of Mr. Banford. And basically what Mr. Banford said is kind of how we feel. We don't feel this precedent should be set to, these rules are in place for a reason. We feel to protect the Board of Health, to protect the public health, and our properties and the environment as a whole. And we just are really concerned the effects this could have on our family, our property. And this precedent being set, it's kind of like opening a can of worms where if you allow it to happen once, it's got to be a constant exception to be made. And I've done a little bit of research on this, and I'm not a lawyer, I don't pretend to be, but I don't have all the legal knowledge, but it's my understanding that I believe the DEP has somehow rules in place to prevent variants of this sort being granted to in environmentally sensitive areas for construction of new septic systems. This is what I've read in my research, but there again, I'm not a lawyer, but that's something I've stumbled across and researched. So yeah, in conclusion, we're against these variances being granted, and we hope the board feels the same way. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I mean, I guess, the one thing I highlighted out of here, doing my reading, is that this land was considered not suitable in 1998, 23 years ago. This land was deemed not suitable for building. I'm not 100% up to date on it, but I gotta think regulations have advanced since then, and if it wasn't suitable 21 years ago, or 23 years ago, why would it be suitable now? I am certainly a proponent of protecting the environment. I also framed for years, so I understand the construction need, but, if I wish I personally had more information on this. I do get the leaching field and everything else, and I know technology has advanced in the last 23 years as well. But given that this land was deemed not suitable for this build that long ago, I would be very hesitant to approve it.
I just wanted to respond to that. So when they revised Title V from the 1978 code to the 1995 code, which is what we're currently on today, they did that in 1995. They initially started out that any perk rate less than 30 minutes per inch was not suitable for new construction. And then you could do repairs with perk rates that are less than 60 minutes per inch. And I think it was about 15 years ago, they revised it to go from new construction up to 60 minutes an inch and repairs up to 90 minutes an inch. So that was the reason why they deemed it, and I don't even think they did a perk test on it back in, I think they did some test holes back in 98, but never even bothered to perk it. So when they changed that regulation, and I think that's why you folks probably have a regulation, because I think it was intended to mirror Title V at the time. And it just never caught up because it's not something that you typically deal with in this town, because we usually have sites that are very porous with medium coarse sand. So that's my impression, is that it probably was done to kind of mirror Title V at the time when Title V had that 30-minute an inch restriction, but now it's a 60-minute an inch restriction. So
I have a question concerning, because I'm not sure what it is, the environmentally sensitive areas. What is that in regards to this
So
particular?
that's actually in your packet,
So I missed that. That's possible.
and it's defined by the groundwater.
All right, that's,
So it's
all right.
where it says Part 1, environmentally sensitive area. The definition's there. Basically, it's the land area containing maximum groundwater elevation, which is 6 feet or less below the natural grade.
All right.
So per your regulations, the Board of Health is not able to approve variances for new construction in environmentally sensitive areas. Because of that, I would recommend denial of the variance request. It's a vacant lot. The denial wouldn't do manifest injustice or create a hardship, as the lot was considered not to be suitable back in 1998.
Can
to my husband? It would be up to you.
Sure, yeah.
So you'd have to come to the microphone, please.
I'm Jennifer Bornis at 21 Rocky Way. So we were very confused about this when we first got the notice, last month. So we actually reached out to someone and had a third-party engineering company review it. And so we had Cape Cod Engineering take a look at it to try and explain it better to us, so we could understand. And they recommended as well that this should not be approved. I just wanted to mention that because we don't know what's going on, so we hired someone.
Thank you, yeah,
Thanks.
thank you. Somewhere I closed the meeting, I think.
I have another question.
Any more? Yes?
I was just asking with regard to the environmentally sensitive lot, so you're saying that this is an environmentally sensitive lot because the groundwater is less than 6, because we found perch water at 102 inches and 147 inches, which is 9 feet and 12 feet.
I think
So
the
we
plan shows it.
But we have a 4.5 foot 8 separation between the bottom of the leach area. So is it from a 6 foot from grade or 6 feet from the bottom of the leach area, which would be deem it environmentally sensitive?
Area of installation, below the area of installation, so it'd be under the leach.
So how's exactly?
Land area containing maximum groundwater elevation adjusted, which is 6 feet or less below the natural ground surface elevation in the area of installation.
Yeah, so it's 6 feet below the natural grade, and whereas I found it 9 feet and 12 feet below natural grade, not from the bottom of the leach area.
Well, that would be the installation.
You know, that's in the area installation. So in the area of the installation, I found it 9 feet below grade and 12 feet below grade. It
I
doesn't,
interpret that to be the installation of the system.
yeah, I disagree with that, but. It says the 6 feet from natural grade, which is the natural grade on the site.
In the area of installation.
Yeah.
So it's completely up to the board. That's my interpretation of it. You're welcome to disagree with that. You can continue it. My recommendation is denial, but it's completely up to the board.
Any further comments? Discussion from the board?
In 1998, it was unbuildable. Is that correct? You couldn't use the lot for building.
1998.
Okay. So what has changed since then?
Title V changed its definition of the perk rate, acceptable perk rates. Harwich has a 20-minute perk rate that has not changed in, I don't know how many years.
And we're also talking about as environmentally sensitive area.
And that's what I was asking, what made it the environmentally sensitive area, and she said it was just basically the drainage. It's not like, see, when I look at that, I think of when we were talking wastewater, I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's not a zone 2.
It's not a zone 2, all right. But,
So do you want to sell the lot? Is that the idea?
He's trying to sell the lot, yeah. He's been paying taxes on a buildable lot. This makes
It's
the
not
lot-
been a- It's not been a buildable lot, though.
I don't know what that correspondence is in terms of deeming it buildable. I'm not sure if at the time it was perhaps perked and didn't meet the perk rate at the time, but, and when we perked it, it met the regulations, so. I don't know if they did a perk test back in '98 and it was consistent with what our findings were with greater than 30 minutes an inch or what, but.
requesting this variance so the property can be sold, essentially.
Yeah, for the property to be buildable. So now, it would deem the property useless if this variance isn't granted. So you're making a lot that's buildable under, 100% buildable under Title V. You know, the board's additional regulation now in turn makes this lot unbuildable. That standard, so. You know, we've provided the pressure dosing. Another option that I could throw out there is maybe to throw IA on the system, a nitrogen reducing system on top of the pressure dosing, which would afford, you know, maybe up to 90% removal of nitrates and out of the effluent and go that route too. So that's also an option that.
I'd like to remind the board too, it would set the precedent. This is a vacant lot, and to this point, you have never approved variances.
Make a motion to deny it.
Second.
I would second that.
So you do need to state a reason. There is an option if you would like to use that one.
Option 3.
I just, you know, for the record, I'd be leaning towards not. However, you know, when we're looking in here and looking before, all the reports that we have are from '98. And I'm looking at all the perk tests and everything else, and it says site failed '98 now. I'm assuming this site failed is based on the Title V from '98. Would it be possible to table this and have this same study done today based on the new regulations?
So it's not Title V that they're seeking a variance
Okay.
for, it's your Board of Health local regulations.
Yeah.
You do have the option to continue it if you'd like, but it is your regulations that they're seeking a variance for, not
Okay.
the state.
I think,
There is a motion, so we have to do something with that. You can either,
Did you, I guess you want to read the option. If he made the motion, so he should read,
so you can,
Based on
so
this.
the motion can either fail or someone can second, so we,
well, he denied the motion.
and I second it.
okay.
Yeah, I would have trouble with this. Yeah.
Same.
I'm in agreement because of the fact that we have not, this is not something we've ever done, and this is not the time to start a new trend in the environmental impact on Cape Cod that we have anywhere, really.
And the fact that it's a vacant lot, it's not like it's somebody's, we're looking at somebody that is already built. Yeah.
So just for the minutes, can we just clarify? It was a motion,
I second.
second.
So you're in agreement to deny, you're in agreement in Kevin?
As it stands, I would vote to deny.
Okay, so we're all in agreement to deny the motion.
Okay.
Sorry.
And just for the record, what was the reason of the denial, the actual physical reason?
Yeah, Matt, can you clarify? If you want that motion, there is one in there. And if you want to take out the environmentally sensitive area, if there was confusion on that, you can. It can just be done to, the board doesn't approve variances for new construction, soil conditions don't meet requirements of the Harwich Board of Health, and the denial does not do manifest injustice. You can also say so moved if you.
It's there.
So I make a motion to deny the variance requested 17 Rocking Way. The Board of Health does not have the provision to approve variances for new construction of vacant lots and in environmentally sensitive areas. Soil conditions do not meet the requirements for the Harwich Board of Health, and the denial does not manifest injustice.
Thanks.
Sorry, thank you. Okay.
Do you want me to read the next one into the record? Continued from June 15th, 2021 Board of Health meeting, hearing Tarka 11 Shore Road Extension to request a reconsideration of order of conditions granted on April 18th, 2000, which included a condition of no increase in habitable space, square footage of or number of bedrooms as shown on the plan dated March 21st, 2000. The proposed addition will add the existing first floor master bedroom and bath and add a bathroom to the second floor.
I open the hearing.
Okay, I have a question on this, and I'm not good at reading these.
We'll let him speak first and then,
I realized somebody was coming up to
boy.
speak. Sorry,
I can see it coming now.
I was busy looking.
Yeah, good evening. My name is John Demarest from Demarest Land Surveying, representing the Target project on 11 Shore Road. Basically, the project, what we're asking to do is put an addition on to a system that was already granted variances in 2000. We're not adding, the space that's being added is to the master bedroom and the first floor bathroom and the second floor bathroom over. The addition would be on sauna tubes, and we're also requesting or putting in a drop-in bulkhead, which would be waterproof, and no other changes to the existing system.
any comments from the public? Okay. Close the hearing. Discussion from the board? Questions?
I just have a question, because I'm not good at reading these. Looking at the original, where you have the master bedroom and bedroom two, my interpretation is that on the first floor, is this going to be all one bedroom then, or?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
So what's that other little room that's?
Bathroom, the extension of the bathroom, master bathroom. I'm not sure which one you're looking for,
I'm
but
looking at-
that's the, okay.
Right, so I see the bathroom for the bedroom, but then I see this other little room or space, and it's got a half bath.
Bear with,
With the existing first floor?
No, it's the proposed addition on the first floor. It was the last page on the back of ours. I'll
that's the, yeah, that's an increase in the, you're talking about the little part in the corner here? I'm sorry, kind of.
No, all right, no, I'm talking about this piece down here, looks like another little area, I won't call it a room, and then there's a half bath off of this one.
Anything that's down here is gonna be existing. This is just the addition right in here.
No, it's part of, if you look at the existing first floor, it's like the corner of bedroom two. I see what you're saying, Susan. There's like if you look on the proposed first floor alterations, there's the full bathroom, but then kind of right next to the stairs to the left, there's that half bath. Doesn't have a shower, but it's got a sink and a toilet.
And
And it's not there on the existing.
Yes, I guess what I'm asking is, it's gonna come down to, is the septic system, although this isn't considered an extra bedroom, I'm looking at an extra room area with a half bath. And I don't understand why you would have an extension to the bedroom with a full bath and then have an extension with the half bath.
Unless I'm reading it wrong, I think it's the,
I could be
the
reading it
entire
wrong.
bathroom is being extended out that's there now on the first floor. So it's the master bathroom, master bedroom are in the addition on the first floor.
Am I reading this right?
So this was 2 bedrooms before?
Right.
So now it's 1. So
One bedroom.
1. This is a powder room off of the kitchen, and this bathroom is an ensuite so their bedroom door is here.
Oh, so that half bath isn't part of the bedroom?
Nope, it's a
Oh, okay.
powder room off the stairs.
Oh, that's what, I'm
Okay,
I'm
all right,
sorry.
all right, I got you. All right,
And then the upstairs is 2 bedrooms, so that's 1 downstairs and 2
upstairs, so we're
We're
still,
not increasing any bedrooms at all.
All right.
And-
I just wanted to make sure that wasn't gonna get turned into a small bedroom.
Oh, no.
All right,
So bedroom number 2 on the existing first floor is becoming part of the master bedroom,
Yeah.
and there's a little,
yeah,
got it.
yeah, and that other half bath is part of the kitchen and living. All right, gotcha. All right. Told you I wasn't good at reading these.
No, that was a
Apparently,
good
apparently neither am
question.
I.
Any other discussion? Do I hear a motion? Oh, I know,
Do you want my
I'm sorry,
recommendations
your
real quick?
recommend, I'm so sorry, my
No, that's okay.
apologies.
So I would approve the reconsideration with conditions, so the existing conditions would stay, 3 beds max, variances to be re-recorded, all conditions apply, as well as a passing Title V inspection be submitted prior to any building permit approval. That would be my recommendation.
I'm Mark Evans, I'm at a butter at One Shore Road Landing. I just want to know, where is the present septic system? Is it in the back of the house, or the side of the house, or the front of the house?
Can I answer? Okay.
Do you want-
The septic tank is in the back of the house. The leach area is on the side of the property.
Okay.
Take a look at I know, it's hard to see. There's the road right there, that's the septic tank, and then this is all leach area down the side of the property. So you stand on the road, look, the house is over on the left side.
So this is the extension?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, so I'm over here, my driveway
Yep.
backs up against their back.
And we're not,
Okay.
we're not proposing any changes to the septic at all.
All right, thank you.
Do I hear a motion from the board to accept or deny?
I'll make a motion
To what?
to accept.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ron, do you mind just amending your, just amending it to say,
What's the
you
rec-
accept the recommendation of the health director, and then we can just take that
Yes.
motion from there. Okay, thank you. Is the second, accept that?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, have a good night.
You too.
Do you have the certified mail receipts with you?
Did Sue send you a copy?
I think
saw
Sue,
the email where
okay.
Sue sent them to you.
All right, I'll double check the file and if they have them on
No.
email, so.
I have the copies of it, so
Okay. Thank you.
All right, do you want me to read the next one into the record, Pam? Do
Sorry?
you want me to read the next one?
Yes, please.
Hearing Witchmere Harborview Trust, 651 Route 28, to consider a variance to install a new Title V septic system, plan prepared by Moran Engineering Associates, per Harwich Board of Health Regulation 1.210, to allow the proposed septic tank to be 28 feet from the wetland resource where 50 feet is required, variance request of 22 feet, per Harwich Board of Health Regulation 1.210, to allow the proposed building sewer to be 33 feet from the wetland resource where 50 feet is required, variance request of 17 feet.
I open the hearing. Hello.
Hello, good evening. Dan Croto with Moran Engineering. Let's see, so this is a upgrade of, the leaching area is in place. It's been there since 2012. There's a septic tank up front from a project from 1995, and then the tank behind the house is 1979, 42 years old. And in 2012, originally the whole house septic went out the back, and there were 2 big leach pits. And then in 2012, I had inspected the septic, and at that point, there's a since the 79 installation is DP. DP now takes, the regulatory coastal bank is the floodplain, and where the floodplain, and where the slope ends at 1 and 4 at the floodplain. So in this case, the regulatory coastal bank is actually in the lawn and a landscaped bush area. So that had changed. So in 2012, I didn't pass the leaching area, the septic tank. The septic tank passed even though it was old, and we put a pump down near the septic tank and did a new trench leaching area up in the driveway. You can see, it's in the shell part of the driveway, which was a huge improvement from the deep pits that were in back near the wetland and we went up front. But the old septic tank was inaccessible because of the slopes on the side. The owner now is looking at, in the patio area, putting a 14 by 28 pool, which did get approved through conservation and through the zoning board, and allows access to this back area of the house. So to me, it'll be a big improvement in that they can put in the right size septic tanks, the right size pump chamber, because they can access it now. Now, the original house, the whole bottom floor is finished. That's why the septic can't be, the pipe just can't be turned around and sent out front. It has to be a tank and pump chamber in back. So the idea is just moving the septic tank and pump chamber further, closer to the trench leach area, which also makes it easier to access and for the pumping truck. And still needing the variance to the regulatory wetland, which is the coastal bank that's actually in the lawn. But everything is more than 100 feet from the actual wetland, with wetland plants and wetland soils. And so I think, so I'll leave it with that, and then I think it is an improvement for this property.
Okay. Close the hearing. Any comment from public? Any discussion on recommendation of the health director?
So I recommend approval with conditions, which would include no increase in square footage or habitable space without further reviewed by the Board of Health. The property shall be deed restricted to 5 bedrooms maximum, and variances and conditions to be recorded at the Barnstable County Registry of Deeds. I agree that this is environmentally an improvement over what's existing.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve with the health director's recommendations.
Second?
Second that motion?
Okay. All in agreement?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, so the show cause hearing scheduled for 0 Middle Road this evening does not need to happen. The horses have been removed. Good news, so we can check that off this evening. No action necessary.
Well, that's good.
And that is it for this evening.
Okay,
I make a motion, we close the meeting?
how about that?
Second.
Sounds good. All in agreement?
Aye.
What happened with the horse? He just didn't